Gordon Klingenschmitt did an interview with a guy named Randy Baumgartner. Now, this guy actually has some power. He's a Colorado state senator. And keep that in mind as you listen to them discuss fracking.
And I've been to a lot of the fracking seminars, and if people, they've never been and they really don't understand it, most of these are free. Most of these seminars are free they can go to. They can learn about fracking. They can learn that the myth of, at 9 or 11,000 feet, that fluid is going to come back to the surface. And since the 1940s, when they first started fracking, there's never been one recorded incident. They talk about methane in the water and this, that, and the other. But if you go back in history and look at how the Indians traveled, they traveled to the burning waters. And that was methane in the water, and that was for warmth in the wintertime. So a lot of people, if they just trace back to history, they'll know how this is all, a lot of it's propaganda.
So methane in the water is a good thing. You stupid liberal, shut up. Enjoy the methane water. Drink it up. Get it in your stomach. It might get you sick, but hey, the Indians liked it, so why shouldn't you like it? And I love how he's saying we spread propaganda as he's spreading propaganda. It's delicious, isn't it? But God, they're so silly. I never trust science information from a guy with a cowboy hat and a handlebar mustache. Now, you can say, well, Kyle, stop prejudging. That's very unliberal of you. But I'm not prejudging. I'm judging. There's a difference. Prejudging is prejudging. So judging when you have no information. I have information. The handlebar mustache and the cowboy hat. Maybe if you have just one of those, there's a slight chance that you might be somewhat scientific and you just happen to be from Texas or some shit. You're wearing a cowboy hat, but you got a fucking PhD. Whatever happens maybe every once in a while. But the handlebar mustache and the cowboy hat? Oh, there's no chance it's going to be scientific what comes out of your mouth. No chance at all. Now, I'll give you some actual information on the issue of fracking. ProPublica investigations found fracking to be the common thread in more than 1,000 cases of water contamination across 7 states. But don't worry about it, because the methane is good, even though it contaminates the water and gets you sick and might kill you. But it's good! Native Americans, something, water, fire. Winter, whatever, shut up. It's good. Business Insider says, quote, hydraulic fracturing companies in the U.S., which is fracking, injected 10.2 million gallons of more than 650 products that contain chemicals that are known or possible human carcinogens regulated under the Safe Drinking Water Act or listed as hazardous air pollutants. Now, you're probably thinking, well, how is that possible that you can pump 650 chemicals into the ground that are against the Clean Water and Clean Air Act? Well, it's very simple. An administration that we like to call the Bush administration, under Dick Cheney and George W. Bush, they approved what's called the Halliburton loophole, which made it legal to exempt fracking from the Clean Water and Clean Air Act. To this day, that loophole still exists. So they can dump these toxic chemicals into the ground as long as it forces the or the natural gas, I should say, up to the surface. So, yeah, not a good thing. Now, in fracking fluid, we've gone over this before, but I like to bring it up every time we discuss fracking. Here's what you're dealing with. Methanol, benzene, diesel fuel, lead, hydrogen fluoride, rust remover, aluminum cleaner, sulfuric acid, formaldehyde, all other types of acids, corrosives, poisons, toxins, carcinogens, etc., etc. So you're dealing with a cocktail of some of the most dangerous chemicals in existence. And what they do is they pump it into the ground because it forces to the surface the natural gas, and then they obviously get the natural gas and then they sell it. But the problem is when you dump the fluids into the ground, it stays there. It's got nowhere to go. Gets absorbed by the ground. And the problem is in many states, they do it close enough to water reservoirs that the toxic chemicals, I mean, look, when they pump it into the ground, it's enough to crack through shale rock. So it's getting pumped in there really fucking hard, right? So it spreads out underneath on the soft ground, and it gets into local water reservoirs, and that's why there are videos all over YouTube of people lighting their faucet water on fire or weird colored water coming out of a shower head or you name it. Because fracking has essentially poisoned water in many, many states. And then also, I haven't even mentioned that it causes earthquakes. It's been proven. When you dig into shale rock and you do it repeatedly, in all the different states that are doing fracking, there were some states where there were literally no earthquakes at all in the past however many years, and then now it's shot up a tremendous amount. And there are hundreds. There are tremors, there are earthquakes, and it goes on. So, look, they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. Conservatives talking science. A fundamentalist Christian who literally believes in the Bible is interviewing somebody about science, and that guy's got a cowboy hat and a handlebar mustache. Forgive me if I don't believe what you say. Allow me to Google fact check it as we go along here.